Hey everyone, Brian here with a sort of on location outdoors edition of the Cartoon Flashback, and I guess you could also consider this a DVD review as well. But this is episode, I believe, 9, and here I want to talk about one of the most popular cartoons of the 80s. This cartoon was so popular that it got itself a theatrical release in the theaters. However, its movie it had some original animation, but most of it was like a compilation, if you will, of a lot of shorts from the cartoon. Think about this movie as like you've probably seen Warner Brother movies like Looney, Bugs Bunny movie, Bugs Bunny Roadrunner, Daffy Duck Crackbusters, you name it, right? Fantastic Island, and you know how those are all compilations. And I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but compilations of animated shorts from the past, right? Along with some originals. Well, that's exactly what this series movie was. It had original animation, but it also had like a compilation of all of, I guess, the best animated shorts that he did, or the show had. What's the show I'm talking about? Well, it's none other than Heathcliff and the Catallic Cat, otherwise known as Heathcliff and Cats and Company, or originally known as Cats and Company. Now, the show was released in 1984 and ran for about 3 years in syndication. Basically, it was split up into 2 11-minute cartoons. The first cartoon focused mainly on Heathcliff and the adventures he had in his town of Winchester. I think that's what it is. And the adventures he had not just in this town, but the adventures he had with his owners, like Iggy and his grandparents, with Iggy's, I guess you could say, female girlfriend / best friend, I can't even think of it, Marcy, and the adventures he had with his girlfriend Sonia, along with Spike, and even the 3 alley cats that also appear in Cadillac Cats, Hector, Wordsworth, and Mungo, and even his father. Basically, what you had in those first 11 minutes, that first half of the show, was Heathcliff, I guess, going on, like I said, his own little adventures, avoiding dog catchers, and trying to save Christmas, and getting even with a guy like a character named the Cat Father who set him up, things like that. It was a very, very good show. As a matter of fact, this was probably the most popular version of Heathcliff at the time. And I'm sorry the cooler just went off, if you hear anything. But this was probably the most popular version of Heathcliff ever. True, there was a couple of other versions of Heathcliff that came before this that were done by Ruby Spears. The ones that came before this were Heathcliff and Marmaduke, and Heathcliff and Dingbat. But this, like I said, turned out to be the most popular. Now, the second half of the cartoon focused on the Catallic Cats. The Catallic Cats, if I can find a decent picture of them, focused on the adventures of these characters. The leader, Riffraff, who like Heathcliff is a small cat, but tough. His girlfriend, Cleo, who's a tall cat with blonde hair and is considered, I think, one of the main reasons people became furries, if you will. And, of course, like I said, the 3 alley cats, Hector, Mungo, and Wordsworth. Now, their adventures expanded a lot more than Heathcliff's. As a matter of fact, their adventures went beyond Earth. Because there was one time they were blasted off into space accidentally because Riffraff wanted to launch a satellite that he had created just so he can get a great view of the city and find out where all the best, trash cans and best areas for food were. And sometimes they ended up in a lost world where they met their descendants. And of course, they ended up in the Amazon jungle, I think. They ended up in Egypt, things like that. Their adventures, the Catallic Cats' adventures, were more expanded. Although the rest of them, if not most of them also, were in the junkyard and around the city. Some of the adventures would deal with Hector, who's this character right here. I think get a bit of Hector here. trying to, at times, become the leader, prove he's more capable of being leader than Riff Raff. Other times, they would just deal with Riff Raff's schemes of get rich or basically, things like that. There were sometimes that it focused around Cleo, and sometimes it would focus on her being kidnapped or focused on her trying to live a dream. As a matter of fact, there was an episode where I downloaded online where Cleo is upset at the fact that a longtime friend of hers has not invited her to a certain ball. And so she comes up with the idea to disguise herself as a male escort or a male rich person or male cat and dress up the guys as female. And of course there's some other episodes as well. Well, like I said, it focuses around the junkyard. One of the main adversaries in this cartoon, just like Heathcliff has Spike, they had a junkyard dog named Leroy. Now Leroy, from what I've seen in one of the origin stories, basically is like the guardian of the junkyard. And he is told by his superior that this is his last chance to prove himself. And if he doesn't, he's gone. Now there was a few episodes where Leroy lost his job and ended up being replaced by someone more tougher, if not more smarter than Riff Raff and the Cadillac Cat. And of course, like I said, there were other adventures that not only revolved around Leroy getting his job, and those are the kind of adventures that involved Leroy getting his job back. But there were also other adventures to where they were trying to save the junkyard. They had a cartoon where they had a soccer game to save the junkyard. They had a balloon race against another, like a rival group of cats. They had all sorts of things. All sorts of adventures that, like I said, were more well expanded than what you saw with Heathcliff. And I think that is what made the Cadillac Cats more popular than Heathcliff at times. Although Heathcliff is the one that got the movie, there are some out there, even myself, that feel as though these characters, right here, the Cadillac Cats, should have gotten a movie as well. And I feel they should have either gotten the same kind of treatment as Heathcliff, kind of like a compilation, or an original story. Overall, Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats, like I said, was the most popular, ran for 3 seasons, and I think to this day is the most popular out of the Heathcliff cartoons, as I mentioned earlier. Now, as far as the DVD goes, this is Volume 1, from what I probably can understand. I think it's not all the cartoons, it's just like a few of them. I think it's Volume 1. It's just 24 complete episodes. I don't know if there's any other volumes. And it goes by episode listing, so it's the first 24 episodes, I believe. Or the best 24 episodes. I don't know. But that's all the cartoons right there, 1 through 24. It's a 4-disc set, as we can see. It's got some special features. On disc 1, you have an interview with the cartoonist, Peter Galler. You have on disc 2 a special feature of Through the Years comic strip gallery. And on disc 3, you have the original series promo. Disc 4 doesn't have no, like I said, interview, Through the Years comic strip gallery, and promo. Disc 4 doesn't have no special features, unfortunately. Now, this was released by Shout Factory, I think, in about 2006, 2005, I believe. About a year or so before Sonic the Hedgehog and other cartoons by Shout Factory was released. Like I said, it's a very good series. And if you have not bought this DVD yet, and you know about Heathcliff, and you've only seen it on YouTube, or Daily Motion, or other video sites, I suggest you find it, you buy it, you rent it, you will enjoy it. It's very good, very funny, and it's great. And like I say, Shout Factory here released it in 2005, over 9 hours. Overall, great cartoon of the 80s, and a great DVD to own. And that's all I can say here on episode 8, or episode 9, I believe, or 8, yeah, it's episode 9, the Cartoon Flashback of my review and look back at Heathcliff and the Catallic Cats, as well as my DVD review of the DVD set. And like I say, if you have not seen it yet, I suggest you go out and buy it, rent it, you'll enjoy it. Till next time, I'm Brian saying God bless, take care, and I'll talk to you all later.